His race is now over, and he's going to be absolutely fuming. So, into the lead of the race goes Marco Wittmann. Farfus will be second, Glock will be third, and that's the top three, all BMWs, exactly like the result we had last year. Tomczyk, another BMW, will be promoted to fourth, and then the Audis of Timo Scheider and Jamie Green. And a conversation now about to take place between Robert and the team. What's going on, he's saying?
Well, you can understand why and how disgruntled Robert Wickens must feel.
No, you can't argue it now, you're out.
He wasn't hanging about into the pit lane, was he?
Just pure frustration, that. Pure frustration.
You know. Well, here is our race leader now, Marco Wittmann, who also is the championship leader. Went into this with a 20-point margin over Matthias Ekström, who is currently P10. Still, where are we? A bit behind Vitoris, isn't he?
Most drivers who win the championship tend to get 3 wins, no more. If it stays like this, Marco's already got 3 wins with 4 races still to go. It's looking good, isn't it? What about Ekström and Vitoris? The gap's coming down, but not by that much, is it? He's 2.6 behind. They'll go up to 8th and 9th respectively now. Vitoris is 18 seconds behind the leader. So the gap is coming down, just not as ferociously as I thought it might. I'll tell you what, though, they take a safety car, Dave, and those guys in the softer tyres will be rubbing their hands together. But Vitoris has still got a chance of a podium, certainly a top 4 or 5 finish here. He's taking Ekström with him, and Spengler's only half a second behind Ekström as well. Spengler is the quickest driver on the track at the moment, 126.1, or one of the quickest drivers, because Molyneux's going well as well. He's a little bit quicker. He's on the option tyre. So you've got these cars, 8th, 9th, 10th and 11th, all chasing down this lead group. And here is Christian Vitoris. There's a bit of a queue behind him as well, as you'll see fairly shortly.
Right, Wolfgang Schattling then, and perhaps he can give us a true explanation of Robert Wickens down there with Verena.
Yes, let's hope for that. Wolfgang Schattling, what was going on there? Obviously there was a drive-through penalty which you didn't accept. However, in the end he got black flagged because you didn't get him in. Was that a management mistake? Why did you decide to do it that
way? In our opinion, this was definitely not an unsafe release. Everybody could see it on TV. So we tried to convince the stewards that it was not, but in the end he had to.
In the end it cost him the race.
But in the end he got the black flag, and we have to respect this.
Big shame. Thank you very much, Wolfgang Schattling. Back to you guys.
Thanks for being right on top of that so very quickly as well. Didn't expect to hear from Wolfgang Schattling, didn't expect to hear from Robert Wickens, but, well, interesting, Wolfgang Schattling there saying as far as they were concerned, you can see it on TV, it wasn't an unsafe release. Well, depends how you look at that, to be honest, but, you know, they're repealing that decision, trying to get the stewards to perhaps reverse that decision, and in so doing, left him out there too long. He didn't take the drive-through penalty, therefore black flag. Yeah,
well, the top 5 all coming together, and they're all nose to tail. And they're all going to do the same at pit stop time within a few tenths of each other. They're all going to come out into each other's paths, aren't they? What did they expect? And he was the leader going into all of that. He wasn't going to give it away, was he? But anyway, as he said, everybody has to accept it and respect it, not necessarily like it. Now, Jamie Green, how's he getting on in 7th place? No, he's not as quick as that lead group. So, Christian Vitoris starting to try and work his way through. Daniel Gadea likewise in this group. Daniel Gadeo gave us the onboard lap earlier on. He's currently running in 16th place. Maxime Martin behind him, the winner at Moscow. It's a good little tussle going on here. 10 laps to go at the end of this one.
So Wittmann then has a 1.4 second margin over Augusto Farfus as he comes into shot right now. Our race leader, The Ice Watch BMW driver is Marco Wittmann. He's also the championship leader. There's Augusto Farfus, P2, then Glock, P3. Well, may I say, recall the race here last year in terms of manufacturer domination, Chris. And we have Wittmann, Farfus, Glock, and now Tomczyk as well, the top 4. Then it's Timo Scheider, then Tombe Green, Vitoris Ekstrom, and Spengler the top 10.
Only about half a second or so quicker than the lead group. The Chargers on the softer tyres, whereas the cars in the lead group when they're on the softer tyres were more like 2 seconds a lap quicker. So I just don't think that Vitoris and Eki, I don't think the Mercedes and the Audi have got the pace to catch this lead group now. Their only hope, as I say, is if there were to be a safety car and they've got the quicker tyre and they're suddenly up to the tail of that lead group.
Yes.
So there was the orange Audi of Green going through in 7th, the last of that lead pack, which is running on the slower tyre now, and this is Christian Vitoris, and that's the gap that he's got to try and close. It's quite a task he faces, isn't it?
Yes. So here comes our race leader then, Marco Wittmann, BMW, Augusto Farfus, BMW, Timo Glock, BMW, and then Tomczyk, before we see this man, Timo Scheider. On board with Timo Scheider, who truthfully has looked at the back end of that BMW for lap after lap after lap after lap after lap.
Yeah, nothing between them, is there? Absolutely nothing between them. Tomczyk can't get away, Scheider can't quite close the gap. It was just that one moment, wasn't there, at Remus, at the second corner, where there was a slight twitch from Tomczyk, and there was half a chance for Scheider, but it wasn't really a proper chance, and that's the only time he's been able to have a go. It's Maxime Martin. He's now having a go. The Belgian trying to get his BMW through here, and he might just about be able to do it. Although he's on the outside line as they go through the next corner, he loses a place as Hunkadea gets past him. So trying to get Muller, he loses a place to Hunkadea. Those three together behind them. In 18th place is Paul de Resta.
The battle here between Muller, Juncadella, Martin, battling over P15. Just up the road a bit is that man, Gary Paffett, P14.
Thread it through the needle there, wasn't he, Hunkadea?
That's where Martin got right alongside Juncadella.
All up at turn 2, isn't it? All the action. Just kissing the curbs then. 4th gear through here. And then winding their way towards the last 2 turns through Rindt and then through the Red Bull Mobile curve. And they're still huddled together here.
That's 3.
Martin's still with his nose in front. And Hunkadea trying to get in between him and Muller. And he might just have a go here. He's going to be on the wrong line though for the next corner. A little nudge there. And Hunkadea will try and squeeze through on the inside if a gap opens up, but it doesn't. That allows Martin to pull away from them now. So Maxime Martin in 15th place now, isn't he? Behind Paffett. It's up to 15th position for the Belgian. Out of the points though.
Danny Juncadella.
What's going on, he says. What's all this about?
Well, Wittmann last time around over the timing line had got a 1.7 margin over Augusto Farfus. And here from on board with Maxime Martin, up the inside of Nico Muller. This in replay for you.
Muller and Hunkadea, of course, were 2 that served drive-through penalties earlier on for not respecting the yellow flags, weren't they? So they've had a lively race already. It's Timo Glock in 3rd position for BMW on course for his first podium visit of the season.
P5, Timo Scheider, whose view ahead of him hasn't changed very much over the last I don't know how many laps. He is 5 tenths behind the car of Tomczyk. just ahead of him. But it's always maintained that margin, hasn't it? And Scheider just not, apart from the one opportunity that you mentioned that he'd had earlier in the race. Here comes our race leader.
Vitoris is homing in now on green, isn't he, for 7th place. Green on the harder tyre, of course, having had that drive through himself. Vitoris on the softer, quicker tyre. A 127.0 for green, a 126.396 for Vitoris. So he's 6 or 7 tenths quicker. And the gap from 7th to 8th is down to less than 3 seconds now. A couple more laps and he'll be with him.
So, what have we got? 6 laps left to run. That's the margin between Wittmann and Vitoris. It was a huge ask, wasn't it? And it was never likely to happen. Wittmann there leading 1.4 seconds over Augusto Farfus. Not going to be challenged by Farfus as he is. They head towards the closing stages of this race. It's going to cement his position at the top of the championship table. Head off next to the Nürburgring in just a couple of weeks' time as the DTM season continues. We're back on board with Timo Scheider, giving that Phoenix Audi absolutely everything he can, but just isn't able to get on terms that will allow an overtake on Tomczyk. Dives into the curb. Super slow-mo here of our race leader, Marco Wittmann. Out onto the AstroTurf, but crucially keeping 2 wheels the right side of the white line. That's acceptable. It's when all 4 wheels go over that white line you could be in trouble. And Jens Marquardt nods his approval of the way Marco Wittmann is driving out front. Maxime Martin now on the back of Gary Paffett.
Yeah, this is the battle going over the start-finish line now for 14th place. Gary Paffett being reeled in by the BMW Maxime Martin. And Maxime is now going to be deploying his DRS. Gary won't be able to do that because there's nobody just in front of him. So Maxime Martin will have a big go here on the run-up towards Remus. But Gary, I'm sure, will know what's coming. Can he defend the position? Is he able to? No. The BMW comes through. And Gary tries to fight back on the way out of the corner, but Maxime Martin gains the place. So that puts him now up to 14th position. It's a long gap, though, up to the points, isn't there?
So you could see Maxime Martin deploying the DRS, and as you rightly said, Gary got no defence against that, had he? Got no one ahead of him where he could use the DRS and almost use it in defence. Wasn't going to happen. Let's see it on board from Maxime Martin. Bosch. DRS gets deployed on the run up to this Remus turn. As soon as you touch the brake pedal, the rear wing lifts back up and DRS is deactivated. But gave him sufficient to be able to get past Gary Paffett. Wittmann with a 1.5 second margin over Farfus. Now this is the interesting battle, isn't it, with 4 laps left. Jamie Green, Christian Vitoris.
Vitoris, the quicker of the two by 6-7 tenths of a second a lap, and behind Ekstrom and Spengler also on the softer tyre. Christian Vitoris on board with him now, trying to hunt down the Audi. A word about Adrian Tombe as well. He's had a terrific drive, hasn't he, from 20th on the grid, and he's up there in 6th place now. And Adrian has been one of the best qualifiers this year, having a dismal day yesterday, but he's on course for a very good result here, and will be his 3rd top 6 finish of the season. So Vitoris with a few laps here to close the gap and get through, and I'm not sure there's going to be too much Jamie Green can do about this.
No, I think you're probably right. But we will see as Christian Vitoris just gives a warning look up the inside. Sure, Jamie will be well aware of the fact how close he is, or how quickly he is zooming in on his tail end. But now they run up to turn 1, and Vitoris, there's Ekstrom and Spengler. But Vitoris now
in position. He's lining it up here, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, both deploying DRS, of course, because Jamie can do that because he's got Tom